And note that the wire agencies are saying that the European Union's looking at freeing up or at least stopping sanctions against things like Libyan ports and businesses. But we're talking here about something much more simple, about hard cash that was on its way to Libya and they could do with now.
That's right, Colin. And as well as the release of that £1 billion, a row has now erupted over Libya's £40 billion sovereign wealth fund as the National Transitional Council attempts to maintain stability in the nation. It's not clear just how much Gaddafi has managed to stash away, but it's thought that there's as much as £100 billion of Libyan assets in bank accounts around the world and in investments. And the Treasury has confirmed that £12 billion of that is in the UK alone.
This has become such, we're coming up to the 10th anniversary of 9/11, haven't we, aren't we? This idea of forensic accountants looking not at a corporate body, but actually looking at what a country's got, what a country's stashed abroad, pushing it to one side, keeping it away from a particular regime, and then giving it back when the trouble's over. We've seen this several times, but it's pretty inexact science, one imagines, because you're dealing with huge sums.
It is, and I mean, the Libyan Investment Authority, which is one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in Libya, although not the only one, was among the most secretive of all of these Arab sovereign wealth funds in the world, even before this crisis. And so it's going to be one of the more difficult forensic accounting jobs that we've seen for some time, particularly when you look at the fact that a lot of people within the Libyan Investment Authority didn't quite know where all the money was as well, because of the level of secrecy and because of the fact that these different sovereign wealth funds, and there are actually 3 of them, this is one of the much misunderstood things, they were actually run by like kind of fiefdoms, and this is the way that Gaddafi ran the regime. He had favoured sons and associates who he would give this money, this effectively oil revenue, to to invest around the world in these sovereign wealth funds. And the money went all over the place. Some of it is in Italy, where money has been used to invest in Juventus, the football club, some in the biggest Italian bank, UniCredit, and a lot of it in the UK. So it's going to be a big job finding where it is.
And just because the cash is repatriated doesn't necessarily mean it could actually do anything useful for a while, because there is a finite amount of work that can be done and skilled people to do the work. I mean, for instance, just getting Tripoli working again. You can throw money at the problem, but there are only so many electrical engineers to go around.
That's precisely it. And Libya was a terribly mismanaged economy for 40 years. And the fact that this money, this is, if you look at the kind of conservative estimates of about $100 billion, that is equivalent to the entire size of Libya's annual economic output. And that's money that shouldn't necessarily have been saved. It should have been put into the economy, helping it run more functionally, helping... There's very high youth unemployment, for instance, in Libya, which is a serious problem. And yet this money has been mismanaged, and so it is going to be difficult for the new regime to work out how to put it to use.